Hey guys, thanks for clicking on this video. This is actually part of a playlist of me trying to learn the top 100 cryptocurrencies from the CoinMarketCap website. I welcome you to join me in this journey, as well as me doing live videos on news stories that happen on a daily basis. Click the subscribe button down below, and you can also click the little bell notification to get live updates of when I go live. And you can actually jump in, and I encourage you to be part of the Team BitGlen live chat that we have going during the live content. If you like this style of content, give this video a thumbs up. Also comment down below any thoughts that you may have of anything that I've said in this video. You can also follow me outside of the YouTube comment section on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter, all with the name BitGlen. Or if you really want to be part of Team BitGlen, you can actually join in the Telegram group chat, which is in the description down below. Follow that link and you'll be able to chat to me as well as all the other guys that have followed me since the beginning of this journey. And if you really want to help support me and this channel grow, I'm not trying to shill or sell any coins in particular. I'm actually trying to support myself using the Team BitGlen brand that me and Team BitGlen helped design together, and we actually have a website called teambitglen.com, so head over to there and purchase a piece of merchandise if it tickles your fancy. So let's get into the main content of today. Hey guys, today we're going to be discussing the fourth largest cryptocurrency on the market, and that's Bitcoin Cash. There's a lot of controversy around Bitcoin Cash. People either love it or hate it, and hopefully I can discuss some of those reasons why in this video. So let's crack on with it. This is the official Bitcoin Cash website, bitcoincash.org, and here it gives you a breakdown of what Bitcoin Cash is and what they're hoping to achieve and why they think they're different from the other competition out there, predominantly being obviously Bitcoin. So they're saying that they're fast, they can transact in seconds, where Bitcoin obviously can take minutes or hours, as we've seen the end of last year. It took like half day, 2 days for a transaction to go through, even with paying a high fee. They're saying it's reliable, a network that runs without congestion. That's remains to be seen, because obviously it is a popular coin, but it's not the one that everyone's using like Bitcoin, so that's hard to say without everyone having a mass adoption. Lower fees, their fees are lower, can't deny that. I believe the way it works is because they have larger block size, which we'll get onto in a second. The transactions that go into those blocks all pay a smaller fee, but because there's so much more information, whoever works that block out is going to receive a good mining reward. Therefore, the more people are in that block, the more transactions, the lower the fee needs to be per transaction. So I think that's a really good solution. Simple, easy to use, no hassles. It's the same as all other cryptocurrency. Stable, a payment system that's proven store of value. So yes, it is a store of value because it's worth something and you can store it. World's most robust blockchain technology. So yeah, it has the same sort of blockchain as Bitcoin. So as we know, Bitcoin has been pretty stable for what, 6-7 years now. So Bitcoin Cash has essentially copied it, but made a few slight alterations on what they think it should be. So therefore, inherently, they're quite secure as well. So that's good news. That's what we want. We want our money to be safe, don't we? So there's some good things going for Bitcoin Cash. They give a little statement here of what they think it is. They're saying that there's going to be an update in May 2018. This was announced at the end of 2017, which I believe is coming on the 15th of May, actually. And we'll talk about that again in a second. And these are the new features that they're going to be bringing with it. So a few upgrades to the actual blockchain protocol systems, as well as a larger increased block size. These are the nodes that are accepted, some that support Bitcoin Cash. We have wallets that support Bitcoin Cash. You can see here there's loads, quite widely accepted Bitcoin Cash if you compare it to some of the other cryptocurrencies out there. Services as well, they've got a long list of services that accept either Bitcoin Cash or use it to transact. So that's really good news. A lot of people behind it, and projects. So You can see here, and exchanges as well. It's accepted on a lot of exchanges. It's got a lot going for it, Bitcoin Cash. Let's get on to what the actual main difference is, the bulk of things. Obviously, I'm not a developer. I'm not a cryptographer myself. I'm just saying this as a normal guy looking at them and saying, right, these are the differences. The original Bitcoin has 1 megabyte block. Over time, as Bitcoin became more and more popular, it started to become a problem because all these transactions were taking ages to get worked out on the blockchain. In the community of Bitcoin, developers and cryptographers, they talked to themselves and said, right, how can we improve this? Some people were saying, well, what about SegWit, Lightning Network? We can add these layers onto Bitcoin. Some people said, well, hang on a minute, that's not what Satoshi Nakamoto, the creator of Bitcoin, wanted. You know, Bitcoin was meant to be its own thing. And obviously, we need to find a way of scaling so that these transactions are not costing everyone so much money. And if you look back at my older videos, I talk about this in length in some of the other videos. I tried to send £1 British, and the fees for sending that £1 were £6. So all in total, I had to do a transaction of £7 worth of Bitcoin to send £1. Which obviously is completely absurd. So in the end, it makes people go, do you know what, I'm not going to send any money anywhere because it costs too much. There was no point changing your Bitcoin from one exchange to another or from a wallet to another because it would cost you so much money unless you really had to. Now, this was actually a real issue. This was a real problem that the people in Bitcoin Cash foresaw a long time ago. They said eventually this is going to hit a brick wall, if you like. So they said, okay, well, we need to sort out. Obviously, the people in the Bitcoin said about SegWit and Lightning Network, as I just said. People Bitcoin Cash said, well, no, let's keep Bitcoin as it is. Let's just increase the block size from 1 megabyte to the next stage, I believe, was 8 megabytes. So that's what they've done, but there wasn't an overall consensus. Some people said, well, hang on a minute, if you increase the block size to 8 megabytes on Bitcoin, that's going to really stop some of the smaller nodes, as we just talked about, these people that actually help confirm and have sort out the flow of traffic of Bitcoin. Some of the smaller nodes are not going to be able to handle 8 megabyte blocks. So that's going to put them out and they're not going to be able to do it anymore. This could disrupt obviously the whole decentralized premise of Bitcoin because only people with large amount of nodes and large amount of power will be able to actually help confirm these transactions. And Bitcoin Cash said, no, it's the best way. It's it's the most honest way. It's the way that Satoshi Nakamoto would want it. Other people said, no, it isn't. We should leave it as it is, but just try and add a second layer on top of it so it is still the true Bitcoin. So this caused a hard fought. They couldn't agree amongst themselves how Bitcoin should go. So you have Bitcoin going off in its own direction, carrying on the way it was. And then obviously you had Bitcoin Cash split off from it. So now we have 2 Bitcoin currencies, and this was like I say, August 2017, so only 8-9 months ago. So now we have Bitcoin Cash. They actually support 8 megabyte blocks. It's been running really well since. It's had some big support from people in the cryptocurrency space, but then it's also brought some people that actually say, hang on, why are we doing this? Why are we making this difficult for newcomers to understand? So there was a divide. Not only was there a divide in the coin, there was a divide in the community of cryptocurrency and developers. Well, Bitcoin Cash is better. No, I think Bitcoin's better, and there was a divide. So that's where we're at, obviously, April 2017. There's some people that really like Bitcoin Cash because of it's trying to stay true to the original Satoshi Nakamoto white paper, and then there's other people that really like Bitcoin because that is the one he made and that's the one that we're all using at the moment. Obviously the 8 megabyte block size is only really like a band-aid. Obviously as the cryptocurrencies become even more and more widely spread, remember we're still in a very early stage. We're at a stage where probably 99% of the world's community don't use any cryptocurrency. So you think how much growth there is. That 8 megabyte block size, eventually they're going to hit the same brick wall that Bitcoin did with the 1 megabyte. So now what they are planning to do in May 2018, which for me is now only a month away, they are going to upgrade to 32 megabyte block. Again, this is going to push smaller nodes out, and people saying it could affect the security of the blockchain, but Bitcoin Cash are bringing in additional features which should increase the security of the blockchain while increasing the block size, so sort of like covering themselves all bases. And they're going to put this on the test net, so it's going to be tested before it goes live. Hopefully they can sort out any kinks or any security issues, because I would hate for everyone to lose money out if there was a security hack somehow. But 32 megabyte block size is massive. In the world of blockchain, that is huge. It's actually the limit of what today's miners achieve, I believe, at the moment. Even though Bitcoin Cash has had a block size of 8 megabytes for quite a while now, obviously the last 8 months or so, hardly any miners are actually operating at that sort of level. They can go up to 8 megabyte, but that means they have to change their parameters on all their miners and obviously start to mine blocks that are bigger than a certain size. From an article I read, I don't know how true this is, but apparently even Bitmain, their miners are only set to parameters of 4 megabytes per block. So only half of what Bitcoin Cash can achieve. So the 8 megabyte has a long way to go before we even start to see that happening, but they're already upgrading it to 32 megabyte. Obviously Bitcoin Cash are trying to future-proof themselves, if you like, so the 32 megabyte block size, as long as it runs well and the security's there, that's going to be pretty formidable foreseeable future, and we're going to see cheap, fast transactions going through. Depending on how you want to look at it, it is a good project. So this is my 2 cents on Bitcoin versus Bitcoin Cash argument. They're both really good projects. They're both going a slightly different way about it. You can't like one without liking the other. You can't, because they're both so similar projects. They're both so alike that if you was to put down one, you'd also be putting down the other. And I don't understand why people can't get that. Yes, one of them is trying to find a solution to a real problem. It is a real problem on the Bitcoin network. These guys are just trying to find a solution. You can't knock them for that. But this is where I believe the people behind Bitcoin Cash are sort of failing. They've got the answers to the current issues that we have. Whether they'll last long-term wise is another thing that remains to be seen. This is where I believe Bitcoin Cash are failing in terms of building a better community. They're so focused on putting down Bitcoin that it's starting to make people that are looking at both the coins sort of like, oh, I don't like the way they're going about their business. So what I mean by that is, one of the major protagonists is a gentleman called Roger Ver. Now, he actually was a really early stage Bitcoin adopter, so he owns quite a decent amount of Bitcoin. He also got in really early with Ripple, Ethereum, so he's quite huge in the cryptocurrency space. I don't know how much he's worth now, but you can imagine it's quite a lot if he got in such an early stage of these projects. Now, quite early on in Bitcoin Cash's life, Roger Ver said, do you know what? This is the original vision of Satoshi Nakamoto. I actually think it's better than Bitcoin, and I'm going to move most of my funds, most of his net worth, into Bitcoin Cash. Now, this is a big statement. It's all well and good saying you think something's a good project, but actually inputting all your life investments in it, that's a bold statement. Now, this made obviously a lot of people open their eyes and like, okay, we need to pay attention to this, because this guy's got it right with so many other cryptocurrencies, and now he's saying Bitcoin Cash is the best thing ever. Now, I'm not saying Roger Ver isn't, he didn't make Bitcoin Cash and doesn't own it or run it in any way like that, but he's a massive promoter, if you like. Obviously, the more it goes up in value, the better off he is. So he's a massive promoter of it. He actually owns as well a website called bitcoin.com, which if you go over to bitcoin.com, it actually refers to itself as Bitcoin Core in a lot of the articles. It also mentions how Bitcoin Cash is the better one. So if you're a newcomer to the space, you can see here, look, they're already advertising themselves. If you come over to this website, you're more than likely going to be led down the path of Bitcoin Cash, which is quite misleading, because for someone new, if I was to come onto this website and think, oh yeah, you know, my friends are talking about this Bitcoin and I want to get involved. Right, yeah, that's gonna, okay, what, so, okay, so if I click this and then I can buy, oh, it's saying it's up, you know, upgrade your Bitcoin to Bitcoin Cash. Oh, that means that must be the newest version. So, oh look, and it's better at this, this, and this, and this. You're slowly going to be led down a path of buying Bitcoin Cash as opposed to a Bitcoin Core, they're referring to it as. Again, this is a very sly, sneaky tactic. And actually, at the moment, if we head over the top article about Roger Ver's Bitcoin.com and CEO Roger Ver to face lawsuit as 800 plus Bitcoin users unite. So that's an issue going on with him at the moment. Whether that anything comes of that, I don't know. But this is a tactic, and if you look on Twitter, Twitter's just full of why Bitcoin Cash is better than Bitcoin, putting Bitcoin down and showing graphs and tables of how it's better and why it's better, why it's going to perform better. And this creates like a bad taste for someone like me who's neutral and sort of trying to be unbiased. It's all well and good someone saying something like, I believe this project is better because of this, this, and this. And then people may say, okay, Glenn, I disagree with you there. I think, and I'd say, oh, okay, I honestly believe that, and I'm sorry you disagree with me. I wish you all the best. That doesn't seem to be happening with the Bitcoin versus Bitcoin Cash argument. There's a lot of people saying nasty things about each other. Lots of people just waiting for one of the other to slip up and then make a big noise about it, or oh look, Bitcoin's just surpassed Bitcoin Cash in transactions per second or blocks per second, or mining this, look how much power we have. And to me, it's all just, I've got a bigger dick than yours. And I don't really like that sort of mentality, the way that they're going about it. So whether they'll change their approach, I don't know. I hope they do, because they have got a good project. Saying that, let's get on to the price of Bitcoin Cash. It has done really well, and it does well every time there's a dip in the market. And I've said this several times. When the markets are down as they are today, forgetting how much it is worth today, Bitcoin Cash always seems to get out of the gate first. It always seems to sprint ahead. It always goes up 5% before all the others do. So that's just a pattern I've noticed. That's not financial advice. But bearing in mind this coin hasn't even been out a full year yet, you can see here started off, because it forked off of Bitcoin, obviously had the Bitcoin name. You can see here it dipped right down to its lowest point after it first being released to $208, and it has had spikes. You can see here, massive spike up worth $800 at one point, and it's dipped back down to $300, and then it went up to 1,900, and then it's just gone up and up and up, and its all-time high is $4,091. Now this was when it joined Coinbase.com, the largest cryptocurrency buy-and exchange, the biggest app to use on iOS or Android devices for people to get involved in cryptocurrency. Apparently a lot of the staff obviously knew that Bitcoin Cash was coming, and all the people in Coinbase, they all told their friends and family, look, do you want to make a quick buck? They all invested all their money into Bitcoin Cash just before it went live, and we saw this skyrocket. It went from like 1.3, which is the price I'm used to seeing it at. It skyrocketed within a day or two to 4,000, and you can see here then it just dropped down. Obviously that took a couple of days for it to do that. It had a bit of a staggered launch on Coinbase. It was a bit silly really. It joined, no, you could buy Bitcoin Cash on Coinbase, but you couldn't use it to exchange on GDAX, which is the site I use to try and flip between the top 4 currencies. And then they brought it out so that only people, if you had US dollar territory enabled on your account, then obviously now I believe it's open to everyone using euros and Bitcoin and like. So it has got better, but the price hasn't gone back up to what it was at. It's generally hovered around the 1,500 mark, and it really dipped down. It went down to 600 and sank again, and where we're at today is $1,400. So could we see it again at $4,000? That's pretty much half of what Bitcoin was at one point. I think we will. I think there's no reason why Bitcoin Cash isn't going to be one of the forefront cryptocurrencies out there. It's Bitcoin with larger blocks. That's it. Really, this video could have been 10 seconds long. I could have just said that. When you're deciding whether to invest in Bitcoin Cash is essentially saying we're going to be the cash equivalent online, whereas Bitcoin's more of a store of value. You can buy gold and you can hold on to gold, but if I want to go to my local shop and say I want to buy some milk and a newspaper, I can't hand over a gold bar and say, give me some gold bar back, or change that up or whatever. They might do. But generally it's a store of value. You would keep that somewhere safe, and then one day when the price of it goes up, you would sell it on. And that is what Bitcoin seems to be doing. Although Bitcoin has had the Lightning Network and SegWit added onto the chain, which is making it quicker and cheaper to send transactions. So which one's going to pull ahead over time? I don't know the answer to that. But Bitcoin Cash, if you believe in the original Satoshi vision and the plan that was put in place, this is that with bigger block sizes. And that's it. It's as simple as that. How long those bigger block sizes will last, I don't know. So it has got a worth, and people really believe in it. So Bitcoin Cash has a total supply, a maximum supply of 21 million, the same as Bitcoin. Currently the circulating supply is 17.1 million. Obviously it's worth $1,390 as of recording this video, which is quite huge compared to some of the other currencies out there. Some are only worth, you know, $10, $15. If you look at Bitcoin Gold, Private, Bitcoin Diamond, you look at all those other ones. So Bitcoin Cash has done really, really well. And if you believe in the original Bitcoin white paper, then there's no reason why you shouldn't believe in Bitcoin Cash. The only thing with Bitcoin Cash is the people that are behind it, that are trying to push it forward, and whether you believe they're pushing it forward in the right way, right direction, whether you think the 32 block size is going to withstand over a long period of time the demand. I hope it does, and I think Bitcoin Cash has got a bit to go. You know, I don't think this is where it's going to end up. I think it's going to be worth probably over $4,000 or $5,000 over the next year or so. I can't see why it wouldn't. You know, if Bitcoin's worth, you know, $20,000, there's no reason why Bitcoin Cash shouldn't be worth $5,000 to $10,000, or even $20,000. It's potentially, it could, if it gets enough adopters, and obviously exchanges and services, if they all accept Bitcoin Cash and they're going through instantly and very cheaply, there's no reason why this shouldn't become the cash of online. Another side to that argument, it seems, and this is only from what I've read online, it seems as though Bitcoin Cash is getting less and less accepted over the internet. There's a lot of exchanges, which at the minute, that's really all we can do with cryptocurrency, is exchange them between one or the other, or cash out. KuCoin, one of the largest exchanges, have actually stopped all their trading pairs with Bitcoin Cash. Now what this means is, if you want to buy Ripple, generally you have to exchange from Bitcoin to Ripple. If you want to exchange your Ripple to, let's say, Ethereum, you have to go Ripple back to Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin back to Ethereum. They did start creating Bitcoin Cash, you know, Bitcoin Cash to Ripple, Bitcoin Cash to whatever, and that creates more trades and more pairs for us. It could make it better for you, easier for you, but apparently the demand and the usage of the Bitcoin Cash pairs was so low that KuCoin said that there was no point in them honouring it anymore, so because they could have other pairs on their market. They can only have so many at a time. So it seems that Bitcoin Cash is becoming less widely adopted than say how Bitcoin is using their second layer protocol. So I think Bitcoin Cash should be focusing less on trying to beat Bitcoin and focusing more on getting widely adopted across payment services and all that sort of stuff. I mean, we've seen Verge recently pair up with obviously Pornhub, and now apparently they might be teaming up with Spotify. That's the sort of news articles that should be coming out of Bitcoin Cash. If they're saying it's cash online, we should be able to be converting our cash into Bitcoin Cash and using it as cash online, and that's what they should be focusing on. That's my opinion. Obviously they've got a lot of rich, clever people back in their system and doing whatever it is they want to do, but instead of focusing on why they believe they're better, doing conferences where they argue with, you know, developers of Bitcoin and spreading all this horrible FUD about Bitcoin itself, they should be focusing on saying, hey guys, we've got this big announcement, we've just teamed up with iTunes, or we've just teamed up with Amazon, or all these different, that's what they should be focusing on. That's my opinion, and I would see their price skyrocket as long as they can be safe, secure, and have these low transactions. Anyway, that's my take on Bitcoin Cash. Thanks for watching my video. If there's anything in this video that you feel I've pointed out wrong, please comment down below. If there's anything that you agree with me, comment down below as well. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you like these videos. I'm trying to do the top 100 cryptocurrencies on CoinMarketCap, and this is number 4. So the next video was going to be Litecoin, but it just recently got flipped by EOS. So I'm actually going to be doing EOS as the next video, which is going to be interesting because that's a new animal altogether. Then we'll be looking at Cardano, Litecoin and Stellar, and that will probably be the next few videos that I do over this next week or so. So if you want to see those videos, don't forget to click the subscribe button, click the little bell notification if you want to join me in those live stream videos that I do sort of on a regular basis, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. See you later guys, bye.